Hey guys, I would like to show you a very quick and simple Minecraft loading station. This is a design I have found online before, but with a bit of modification here or there to make it just a little bit more straightforward. So as you can see, you have a long line of hoppers connected to chest with a power rail on top. So this is sort of like where there's like an example of a like super smelter. So you have items that need to be evenly distributed with a minecart, and in here you can see there's a bunch of saplings. That's all evenly distributed. This is our input chest that has a bunch of different items, and then this is the comparator. So this determines how much you want your minecart to take. So what this station will do is that your minecart would take up to that, like whatever you set here, it would take the same amount of items and it will dispatch. Or if the chest is empty, it will also leave the station. It won't sit there and wait until it has taken enough items. So this makes a very nice input for your super smelter. So right here, you see the chest is empty and the minecart just kind of goes, even though there's like nothing in the chest. Okay, and the redstone is very very simple, very straightforward. So the main goal is there's a comparator here that compares what's currently in the minecart versus what you set it to be. So it will only send out red signal here if what's inside the cart is bigger or is more than what you set. So this will power this, which empowers this torch, which will enable this. The second part is if the chest is empty, then it will power this torch, which also disables this torch. So when the chest is empty, this thing which stops the minecart from moving forward will always be retracted, and that lets your minecart go forward. Alright, so let's move on to the block by block tutorial. We can do like a quick replication of what we have here. So let's just grab some blocks here too. Let's go bam, bam, bam. Okay, so we have our like rail here. In fact, I don't really have to build a full rail. I'm just gonna go ahead and say we do this. And let's go with a lever. Okay, so this is kind of the rest of your rail. You will start with a detector rail. So this lets it detect what your minecart is holding. And then we need a rail that goes upwards into an uphill. And in order to do that, you just put on the next block, you put on a rail, and you just break this block. And then there you go. Next, we need our chest. Because we're using a hopper minecart, we don't actually need hoppers. Hopper minecarts are a lot faster than hoppers anyway, so we can just do a chest here. You can use a double chest, or you can use a single chest like this, but double chest is fine. And your minecart will kind of get stuck in this little corner right here. Okay, so now let's take the comparator output. So we take a comparator, and this will measure the output of the current what's currently inside your minecart, and then we'll have the comparator here. Because we're using a hopper minecart, it's much easier to visualize if you just also use a hopper. This is your marker where you decide how much item goes into each minecart trip. Okay, so after here, we just need to do a simple redstone right here. And then this goes on to the torch. So this is the main torch that powers and unpowers your the entire the little thing that stops your minecart from moving. So we'll have a sticky piston here, and then you just need a fence. So you can use any kind of fence you want. Okay, just stop it here. So now if we have a minecart and it travels all the way uphill, it will get stuck right here because this piston is extended. It will move all the way here, right about between this detector rail and this powered rail, and this allows it to like kind of suck up items from the chest. Okay, cool. And now because we don't have any comparator, as soon as any item shows up here, the comparator will decide, hey, this is we have enough items, it will power this torch. Okay, and the last bit is also very straightforward. You just take a comparator output from here. You lead that into a reverse torch because we want it to send a signal when the torch, when the chest is not empty. So we take a torch here, and then you just need to pipe that into the other torch with this, and that's it. Very straightforward. So to show you that it works, let's say we're transporting sticky pistons, and if you have less than a full stack of item here, sometimes it can get a little messed up. The cart would take more than what's in here because of the latency, amount of time it takes for this comparator to activate and for this torch to receive signal to retract this. By that time, you might be a few items over. But overall, if you have about a stack and more, I accidentally stood on that. Just put it here. As you can see, it's sucking up the item up to your limit, 63 over 64, and it's done. So now, and because there's no way to unload this, it just kind of keeps picking up items. So if we set it to 2 stacks, it'll keep going. It'll keep going until you have 2 stacks. And a little bit more. Yeah, sometimes that happens with just the delay and how, like, it depends on how long and how far up the minecart got stuck. Sometimes if it gets stuck higher up like this, it takes longer for the minecart to leave this slope, which means it picks up a little bit more item from the chest. But if you're just doing a transportation, that's typically not a problem. So there you go. Like, comment, subscribe, whatever. Hopefully this build helped you out, and see you guys next time.